Hello, welcome to the channel again, and welcome to the Black Mamba Megatron review. Now this is a beautifully sculpted robot mode here, and it might look familiar to you due to the fact that I reviewed not that long ago the Voyager class last night Megatron. And look just how much they upscaled. And due to this being a third-party figure, the lack of the Decepticon logo right here. Now, a few upgrades that they did to this figure is that there's die-cast metal all throughout him. The feet are die-cast metal. The majority of the die-cast metal is internal, but there's a lot of it on the legs here. His sword is made of plastic, but it's okay. And the thrusters here are die-cast metal. And these pieces here. It's all done in this clean kind of sheen, which is really nice. One thing that I really miss from this figure is the light piping of the Voyager class figure. Instead, this time around, his eyes are just painted. Painted that beautiful red color. Let's get into some size comparisons. Before anything else, the Black Mamba Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. Marvel Legends Venom. Studio Series Optimus Prime. And the NECA exclusive Jason. Forgive me, I'm using corded headphones for this. The Studio Series 2007 Megatron. The Voyager class Last Night Megatron. And last but not least, the 3-0 Optimus Prime. And they actually scale pretty nicely. Surprisingly. Now, is it any secret that this guy transforms due to the kibble on the back? But we'll get to that soon enough. First things first, I want to show you the weapon storage. It's the same thing on the Voyager class figure. There's a peg on the sword here, and that just plugs in. Right there. And then it completely camouflages. Besides, it looks like he has a massive schlong now. But this is painted very nicely. It's got this monochromatic finish that I like, that you'd see on a Megatron figure. And his only accessory is his sword, and that just plugs right into the hand. Same problem as the Voyager class figure. It's not a tight fit in his hand. Let's get to the articulation point. Because boy, does he have a lot. He's got a ball joint at the head, so he can look up that far and look down that far. He can look left, he can look left, he can look right. Cockpit moves, mainly because it doesn't tab in. Shoulder does a full 360. Shoulder plate moves out, so the arm goes out. You got a bicep swivel, tight fucking bicep swivel, Jesus Christ. A ratcheting elbow. I do indeed believe all the ratchet joints on this are all die-cast metal as well. Now, one thing that was lacking from the Voyager class figure, no wrist swivel. Don't worry, Black Mamba's got you covered. They got wrist swivel. And it goes in that much, mainly due to the transformation. Still lacking a waist swivel. Cannon goes out like that. That's mainly due to the transformation as well, but you could also just kind of blend it into his arm if you wanted to. There's many points throughout the film his cannon does transform into his arm, which I thought was really cool. Why did it take 5 movies to get it right? I have no idea. He's got an ab crunch. Fuck me. This shit just does not want to hold in at all. Crotch guard moves up. Oh fuck, now I gotta tab it back in. He can kick, which is also a tight ass ratchet. Same problem with the Voyager figure. Now this guy will be coming back into play very often. His leg does not go back very far, which is a problem for me. But look at the I also want to mention the difference in sword size. There's a lot more of a metallic sheen on this sword here. He's got tight ratchet joints. And he's got a beautiful spread. Well, sadly, the spread isn't ratcheting. Swivel here. The knee ratchet is really fucking tight. All that comes back down. Foot does not go up, does not go down, but you do have an excellent pivot. So you can get him in that classic Megatron, I'm gonna fucking kill you pose. And of course all the limbs carry over to the other side. Let's get to the transformation. Now his transformation is a little different than the Voyager class figure. I kind of just want to do the Voyager class figure again.
This shit all comes down. I did skip a step in his transformation. His head's supposed to be turned around. Feel free to skip this part. We're just gonna get Voyager class in his vehicle mode as well. Okay, now that we got Voyager class in its vehicle mode,
Time to get the big boy. Okay. So you want to do, turn the head around. Same thing that you did on the Voyager class figure. You're going to want to bring this whole cockpit section up until it heads and up. Now this is a reoccurring problem on mine. I don't know if it's that big a problem on all the copies, but it seems to be a fucking issue. That plugs in. Bring the arms up. Now, in addition, they added these little tabs. Now, due to the wrist swivel, you're going to want his wrist perfectly flat. Camera. That side tabs in. Now what I like to do is, since these are pretty tight, and there's, you take the sword and use it as kind of a part separator. And we're done with that section. Get to the legs. Untab these sections, which they're pretty tight. So I'll rotate the feet. Rotate the feet. you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tuck the cannon right in there. Plug the crotch guard into the arms. Put the legs into position. And then you just plug the sword on the top. Look how big this guy is. Like, here's the Voyager class Optimus Prime for comparison. He is fucking huge. Like, this is what they call a big boy. And there's the Voyager class Megatron. What I do like what they did with the Voyager class figure is actually nothing. I like this one a lot more. He was missing a bunch of paint apps, as you can see. He's got the Cybertronian writing on his wings and right here. Now this is also die-cast metal right here. Cold to the touch. The feet are cold to the touch. These thrusters on the back are also cold. Like, this is just beautifully painted. You know, I want to see a Black Mamba Optimus Prime, and just to see if it'll scale with this Megatron here. He is a big boy, and now more of that gold color is revealed here. The cockpit is beautifully painted. There's not a crazy amount of kibble since it's not of this world, so you can't really tell what's kibble and what's not. And it's accurate to the film. And, oh, and the nose cone's also die-cast metal. Like, this is just immaculate, the paint job that they did on this. Now, I do know that Black Mamba did do a battle damaged version of this Megatron here. And like, this is just super cool how they engineered this to go from a proportional robot. You can also put it on like that. It looks a little out of place right there, mainly because it's not supposed to go that way. It's supposed to go this way. He takes up almost this entire table. And it's going to be a nightmare for the size comparison. As I said, the Voyager class last night Optimus Prime. Studio Series Ironhide. Studio Series Optimus Prime. Studio Series Ratchet, which review coming soon. Studio Series Hot Rod. Studio Series Jazz. Oh, and before I forget, this Bumblebee right here is not from Age of Extinction. This Bumblebee is from The Last Night, so fitting. Last Night Voyager class Bumblebee. And Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus Prime. Oh, and Studio Series Bumblebee. And Studio Series Grimlock. Grimlock's also what I'd call a big boy. But this is just a beautifully sculpted and painted vehicle mode for Megatron, and it's so fitting for the character that Megatron is. Now, the same problem with the wing carries over from the Voyager figure, just it's not as noticeable. It's this wing. This wing just doesn't want to stay up. And it's so beautiful. I would give this figure a solid 9 out of 10. Probably wondering, oh, why is he giving it a 10 out of 10? Well, here's why. Due to it being an exact copy of the Voyager class Megatron, all the faults that would come with the Voyager and Megatron carry over. Oh, and also a little bit of a confession to make. I made a mistake. This is not Studio Series at all. So, I've made a lot of mistakes. But this is such a beautiful jet mode. If it were just the jet mode and the robot mode, the transformation's flawless. And it's easy to remember. If you can remember the Voyager class figure, you can remember this. Just imagine the Voyager class figure 4 times the size. Tell me this isn't 4 times the size. This is Mini-Me Syndrome at its fucking finest. It's got a nice metallic sheen on it, which is nice. The sculpting is what I'm amazed by. And I think that's about it for this review. Actually, I'm going to change my rating. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Just also due to the wrist swivel that was lacking on the Voyager figure. And the compromises that the Voyager figure had to make due to its tiny size have now been reprimanded. And completely fixed. But this guy's big. Like, he's fucking huge. Like, look at it compared to fucking NECA Jason here. Like, if I lay NECA Jason down, it's incredible of how big this thing actually is. Like, my hands are huge. And this thing, it's got a nice heft. Like, once you put it into vehicle mode, it's got a nice heft. She's heavy. Well, that's it for this review. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Until next time, peace.